Okay, so it is 1:20 a.m. on Thursday, March 20. Are we the 28th? Yeah, today's March 28th. Holy cow. March is almost over. I literally just got back into Boston 12 hours ago. I was away for a month. I was as far away from Boston as you could possibly get without leaving the continental United States, which is in an area that is diametrically opposed across the country to Boston. So, for the idiots who watch my channel, diametrically opposed means diagonally on the other side of something. And so, the San Diego / Los Angeles area is as diametrically opposed to Boston and other cities in the Northeast, such as Bangor, Maine, and Manchester, New Hampshire, as you can possibly get. I was away for a month. I left February 22nd and I got back earlier today, which was Wednesday, March 27th. We are now an hour and a half into March 28th, and I just got up from sleeping all day. I landed in Boston late morning, made it here to the building right around noon, and literally just passed out from an exhausting trip across the country. And for the first few hours that I was in this unit, basically just putting stuff away and trying to take a nap, there were absolutely no disruptions in this unit whatsoever. And now at 1:20 a.m., the same crazy shit that I keep having to report that keeps happening in this unit whenever I'm in it, and that has been happening for 10 years now without any kind of intervention or attempt on the part of the landlord, the Greenville group, to stop it, has started happening once again, in spite of the fact that I was away for an entire month. And I kind of came back thinking maybe all this crazy stuff will have stopped happening because I was away for so long, that maybe the people who keep making this stuff happen will have gone away, just because maybe they're just, they have a problem with me. And so the fact that me not being in the building, the fact of me being in the building makes them do that. But if I'm not in the building, then maybe they will stop. I am not the cause of this. I simply keep to myself and mind my own business. And I have no interest in interacting with anybody that the Greenville group has chosen to place in this building recently, because their business model has changed since I moved in here in 2011. I moved in July of 2011, and most of the people in this building were fairly normal. There were no issues. There weren't any crazy psychopaths and large numbers of sex offenders harassing the female tenants of this building. That all started happening right around 2013, 2014, when the Greenville group seems to have changed their business model or started renting to large numbers of sex offenders, as confirmed to me by several agents of the Boston Housing Court and also a few paralegals at various legal agencies around the city. They have all confirmed to me that the Greenville group chooses to work with agencies that specialize in housing sex offenders. So that is not my imagination. I'm simply the one who's minding their own business and trying to keep to themselves. And these psycho sex offenders that the Greenville group not just rents to, but basically sponsors or protects, as they have done against me a number of times. These sex offenders are permitted to do whatever they want, apparently, in this building, harass other tenants, physically assault females, sit on the street corners and scream and shout and get really disruptive for hours at a time, destabilizing the neighborhood and ruining everybody's peace. That's not me doing that. That's them. The Greenville group just lets it happen and nothing ever changes. So at 1:20 a.m., I am right now dealing with the same crazy stuff that I did 30 days ago before I left, that I kind of hoped would stop, but that keeps happening. So I'm not the one looking for this. It happens regardless of how long I am away, how far away I go to get away from here for, temporary amounts of time, and what time of the day I happen to come back to the building, because as soon as I come back to the building, within a few hours, the crazy shit starts happening again. So right now it's 1:20 a.m. I just tried to use the bathroom in this unit maybe 20 minutes ago, very quietly, and the same exact massive amounts of marijuana fumes that keep filling this corner right here and this unit from the permanently vacant, empty premises of the bathroom of Unit 78 directly behind this wall, once again started filling my bathroom and this entire corner right here as soon as I tried to quietly tiptoe into my bathroom to take a quick pee. Sorry, it's graphic, but yeah, I was just taking a quick pee, and all of a sudden, my entire bathroom starts filling with intense amounts of marijuana fumes. Not only has this been going on for months from the supposedly vacant premises of Unit 78 that the Greenville group keeps telling me is vacant, but then there's somebody in there constantly smoking and deliberately propagating large amounts of marijuana fumes and cigar smoke and burning rubber smells through this wall. But it keeps happening every single time I do certain things in this apartment, but not others, meaning there are surveillance devices in this unit that allow this psychotic smoker, I know who it is, to continually blow all kinds of intense amounts of smoke and fumes through that wall when I do certain things, but not others. And so, as I've reported in dozens and dozens of videos I've made over the last 2 years regarding this topic, the one activity that I do that always generates agitated amounts of either cigar smoke or burning rubber smells or marijuana smoke from behind this wall right there, which again is the vacant bathroom of Unit 78 that housed a psychopath, a sex offender, and a cyber criminal named Jasmine Irizarry for 9 of the last 10 years officially. And now apparently she unofficially continues to be permitted to access the vacant bathroom of her former unit. Well, that just started happening again. It's been going on for 10 years. I started reporting it to the Greenville group in 2015 that the psycho in 78 kept smoking large amounts of marijuana, cigar smoke, and burning rubber. I'm assuming it's some kind of crack or some other type of illegal narcotic from behind the wall of this kitchen area whenever I tried to use the toilet in my bathroom. And the Greenville group said at the time, "Oh, is she targeting you? She tends to target people." Okay, so they just basically admitted that they're renting to a stalker. Targeting means stalking, means, she latches onto people and refuses to leave them alone. They also reported to me that she is a talented cyber criminal who, quote, can hack into anything. Oh, she is so good, she can get into anything. According to the property manager, Oleg Lisayev, when I brought to his attention in 2019 that all of my electronic devices were getting remotely disabled, most frequently when I was trying to use them to report the activities of the psychopath who was engaging in disruptive behaviors from behind that wall on an ongoing basis. That's when Greenville said, oh yeah, she's a very talented hacker. She can get into anything. Okay, so strike number 2. Strike number 3, the Boston Police Department telling me when I reported this psycho sex offender's behavior to them on a number of occasions, oh, she's a psychopath. So that's not me coming up with that, even though she certainly behaves like a psychopath. That's the Boston police telling me that the resident of 78 at 5 Union Avenue named Jasmine Irizarry is a psychopath. According to the Massachusetts Sex Offender Registry, so now we're on to point number 4, Jay Irizarry is a registered sex offender in the Massachusetts Sex Offender Registry. And the Greenville group is housing her as they are housing other sex offenders in this building complex, including Charles Thomas, who is a registered sex offender who physically keeps harassing me and threatening to beat the F out of me if I go near him and all this stuff, as if I would ever approach a piece of filth like him. He's delusional. He's the one who thinks I'm approaching him. He's always loitering around the corners of this building. And then when I try to walk by in order to access the front door to this building, he starts screaming and shouting about how I won't leave him alone. He's a nut job. And he's been in court like, I don't know how many times in his life, like 50 times. And he's got a rap sheet a mile long. So anyway, that's who the Greenville group chooses to rent to, not just to rent to, but to defend in court as they have against me. With respect to Charles Thomas, they defended him in court saying, oh, Ms. Eckelhofer, yeah, she harasses these Black men with her camera. Right, because I have a job, and the only time I've ever coming and going to this building is when I'm trying to leave the building to get to work or trying to come home to the building after work. And the low-life scum like Charles Thomas are the ones loitering around the corners of the building for hours at a time because they have no lives, and they just harass people who walk by. And then people such as myself, who are visually disabled, have the right to use the camera on their phone to see who is shouting at them and approaching them as they're trying to legitimately access the door to the building of their residence. That is what has been happening to me, and the Greenville group is blatantly defending the criminals who they choose to rent in large numbers in this building. So once again, I just got back. I've been here just about 12 hours now in this building, and the same crazy stuff that's been happening for 10 years is once again happening at 1:20 a.m. when I'm quietly sitting here trying to mind my own business and quietly pee in my bathroom, and marijuana smoke suddenly starts filling this corner from behind this wall, which means there's somebody in the bathroom of the unit behind this wall that Greenville keeps telling me is unoccupied, but obviously is unofficially occupied by the same psycho sex offender, stalker, and psychopath named Jasmine Arizari, as she lived in that unit for 9 of the last 10 years. That's obvious. Greenville is lying. They have a vested interest in lying about who they rent to, who they sponsor, who they choose to house. And obviously, they're allowing the same psychopath, sex offender, and cyber criminal named Jasmine Arizari, who they bragged to me about over the last few years, according to the property manager and employees of the office staff, as being a talented cyber criminal who can get into anything. She also tends to target people. So, you connect the dots and you get a very clear picture of what's going on here in this building. And it is all highly illegal. And it is also preventing me from being able to use the facilities in my bathroom when I need to, because the, slamming noises and intense amounts of smoke that suddenly fill this corner from behind this wall right here are all activity-based, surveillance-based forms of harassment that are designed to prevent me from being able to use the facilities in this unit as I need to and when I need to. And obviously, Greenville is hoping they'll move out, and that is why they're permitting this to continue to happen. So there we go, guys. 1:20 a.m. I'm trying to unpack my stuff. I have a busy day ahead of me. And once again, the same crazy stuff that I was hoping would stop because I was away for a month continues to happen in here. And it should not be a surprise to anyone, because the Greenville group is facilitating this. They're letting it happen. They're doing nothing to make it stop because they're the cause of it, ultimately.